Do you know how to talk to a robot? Well, today we're going to learn how. Stay tuned. Welcome to another episode of Momentum Monday with me, Emily McHugh, the Supercharged Coach, welcoming you to another week. And today our topic is how to chat with ChatGPT. A conversation, a very hot topic that's happening right now and will continue to go on. And so today I wanted to share a little bit of insight from how to maybe approach this technology. One dimension, there's so many, and today we're going to just hit on one. But before we go any further, please make sure, again, go and subscribe to @Supercharged Coach on YouTube. Like, comment, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. You know how to do it. You know the drill. You know the drill. So, the first question I have for you as we embark upon this topic is, do you even know what ChatGPT means? Like, what do the words mean? Well, we know what chat means, but the word GPT means generative pre-training transformer. And this is directly out of Google. It's out of the Britannica Encyclopedia definition. And so, like, generative pre-training transformer. So generative, obviously, it's going to generate information or text. Pre-training means that we are the ones training it to transform, I suppose, what we're saying into something intelligent. So we are the trainers of this. And as you read it, it says ChatGPT refers to itself as a language model developed by OpenAI, a leading artificial intelligence research lab. The model is based on the GPT, Generative Pre-training Transformer Architecture, which is a type of neural network designed for natural language processing tasks. So when you click on that, you want to know, like, what is a neural network? So when you click on the link, it takes you to a more detailed explanation, which I encourage you to go and read on your own. But I was very curious as to what does it mean to have a neural network? What is a neural network? So I clicked on neural network, and that takes me to a computer program that operates in a manner inspired by the natural neural network in the brain. The objective of such artificial neural networks is to perform such cognitive functions as problem solving and machine learning and so on and so forth. So it is trying to mimic the brain and trying to do what your brain does. And hence, understanding that allows you to better approach this technology. So let me go into some 3 key tips on this process. So chatting with ChatGPT, how to chat with ChatGPT. The very first thing I want you to remember is that you're speaking, act as if you're interacting with a person. So again, this technology is trying to mimic the human brain, trying to mimic how people think. Hence, you have to engage with it as though you are engaging with a person. Ooh. So that might take some getting used to. Because, again, we are indeed chatting with a so-called robot or an artificial. It's fake, all right, and not real. However, it's very real in terms of how it's going to impact us. Okay, so the first thing to keep in mind is you want to be polite and be positive. So what does that really mean? When you speak to someone, you don't want to be rude. You don't want to have a negative attitude. You want to speak in a very positive kind of way. Now, this doesn't mean you have to agree with every result. And I'm going to give you an example this morning. We're going to go through a ChatGPT example with a couple prompts and understanding the idea that by being abrasive or being rough with this technology will not get you results. I mean, we all know the adage, you get more with honey than with vinegar, right? So that is the attitude to have as you engage with ChatGPT. The next thing you want to do is to be very specific with what you're trying to elicit from this technology. It is not like a magician where you just say, hey, give me donuts and donuts appear, or give me, bake a bread. It's very, I mean, it will tell you how to bake bread. Yes, it will. But what kind of bread, what style of bread, what flavor, all these details you need to put in, because it does not know. It cannot read your mind. It is not a mind reader. So you have to feed it with all the details that you're hoping to get back from it. The third point I want you to be mindful of is be mindful. Meaning that, again, you're speaking with a robot, there are limitations, and you also want to be mindful of what you ask it and how you ask it. So today is how to chat with ChatGPT, and understanding that this technology gathers information from multiple sources, multiple wherever it's coming from. Microsoft is one of the chief investors in ChatGPT and OpenAI, and as a result, there's all kinds of layers of things in the background into which I will not get today. What I'm focusing on in this conversation is how we engage or interact with it. Yes, there are other things behind the background, and I encourage you to check it out. You need to do your research. You need to understand what this technology is you're engaging with. So being mindful on multiple levels, what you're asking it, how you're engaging with it, and maybe what could be done with the information that you're feeding it. You're actually training it to think like you. And that could be a little bit scary at first, but that in essence is what you're doing. But what I'm here today to do is to encourage you to use this technology to your benefit and to your advantage, while being mindful of all these considerations that I'm mentioning as well. Okay, so with that being said, let us jump right on in to maybe doing a little bit of chatting with ChatGPT. How about that? Okay, so let us get ready to do that. So I'm going to bring up ChatGPT right now. And so that you know, there are free versions and there is a paid version. And ChatGPT is embedded into many different programs that you may use. Like, for example, Canva. I use Canva a lot for design and so forth. There is a Magic Write. There's a lot of ChatGPT functions in there. Also, I use Notion. Notion is also embedded in, AI is embedded into Notion as well as a paid feature. And so many times you have to decide, do I want to pay extra for all of this, or can I just use it in certain platforms where I already have it included? So just be mindful of that. A lot of platforms now want to charge you extra because of the AI integration, but if you have free access to it, why are you paying more? Okay, so just keep, in another platform. Just think of that as well. And there are also different levels of ChatGPT's sophistication depending on the level of access you have. So those are things to be mindful of as well. All right, now people, tell me if you're using ChatGPT. Tell me what you think about it, and it'd be interesting to get your perspective on this. Okay, so here you have. I just went into Google, typed in ChatGPT, and you get this thing right here. Then I click on ChatGPT. Now I'm already logged in to ChatGPT, so I go right in there. So you have to sign up for an account. I have ChatGPT 3.5 because that's fine for me right now. ChatGPT version 4.0 is the paid version, and it allows you maybe to do some more sophisticated things. So it depends how much you use this will determine what you really need. So as you can see, you have basically a blank canvas. You have a few prompts at the bottom, which suggests how you could potentially use this. So it can give you ideas. It can suggest activities for a rainy afternoon. It can design a database. It can tell you a fun fact. It can do a lot of things. You can also almost use it like you would use a Google search. And of course, we know in Google, it's very keyword based, and ChatGPT obviously is that, but it's to an even deeper level. One of the things that I think is you have to be mindful how you ask questions is you want to not impute, what shall I say? Judgment. That's a good word. Judgment in how you write it. Like, so if you say, like, if you go in there and you type a question, for example, well, we are in, well, let me be careful how I say this because it can come out in a strange way. So I'm going to use a different example. I'm going to use a more business-oriented example. So you could say, what does it take for why? Okay, here. I'm going to type it right now, and let's see if you can see it. Why? What is the most common reason that businesses can fail? Okay, it says there isn't a single most common reason for business failures, as it can vary depending on the industry, market conditions, and various other factors. However, some common reasons for business failure include this list that it gives you: poor management, insufficient capital, and all these other things as well, which kind of makes sense. So I started this chat. This is not normally how I start my ChatGPT chats. I normally start it in a very different way, and I'm going to show you. So you can go in there and just write the question just like I did. I'm going to rewrite this question, and I'm going to come back and then show you how I prefer to write the question. So first I said, what is the most common reason that businesses can fail? The other reason is what do business owners do that cause them to fail? It is a different question. It's a different question, and it's going to give me a different response. It says business owners can contribute to the failure of their businesses through various actions or a lack thereof. Here are some common mistakes or behaviors that can lead to business failure. Okay, now and it kind of gives you similar responses, but it's more precise on the business owner. So before I asked about businesses in general, and it talks about it in general, then I said business owners. So it's more specific maybe to a person, like lack of vision and strategy, overextension of resources, ignoring market trends, poor hiring, and different things of nature. So what I'm trying to show you is that just by subtle changes in how you ask a question will definitely give you very different results. And when I say, what do business owners do that cause them to fail, is very different than me saying, what is the most common reason that businesses can fail? So I want you to kind of think of these nuances and also how it's interpreted by the machine. Now, let me tell you how I normally ask a question. So I normally start off my ChatGPT session with some salutations. Now, I have you know that all of your chats are saved. They're saved to the right of your screen. If you open it up, it will show you that it saves them for, I don't know how long it saves them, maybe up to 30 days, I'm not sure, or it might just save them indefinitely, but all of your chats are automatically saved. So keep that in mind. Right, now let's go over to how I normally engage with ChatGPT. I will say, okay, why am I not getting on my screen? Oops, because I'm in the wrong place. All right, I'll say, hello, ChatGPT. That's normally how I start. How are you doing today? I don't just jump into the question, okay? How are you doing today? Ask it. Remember, I'm talking to a fake person, okay? I want to be polite. I want to be respectful. And I want to be positive. I have a question about why is it that many, I'm going to say small businesses, I'm going to get more specific, businesses and startups fail within the first 3 to 5 years of starting a business. Okay, so I'm asking them, why is it that they're failing? And then I'm going to say, also, I would like to know what they can do, what the small business can do. So again, business or entrepreneur, so I'm introducing another word, can do to prevent business failure. Now, I'm going to say, please give me an outline with details below each section. What else do I want to tell it to do? And also provide the most, I'm going to use a fancy word, egregious, I love that word, egregious reasons why businesses fail, ask it again, and what makes them succeed. This is a very, this gives you an idea of how you can be with the questions. All your questions don't have to be like this. Thank you. I usually reserve the thank you after I get the result, but I'm being extra polite today. Boom. Send it out. ChatGPT, go to town. So it says, hello, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Below is an outline addressing why many small businesses and startups fail within the first. Okay, they're kind of repeating what I just said. So it says reasons, and it's going to town on the reasons, and then it gives me strategies to prevent it. Most egregious reasons for business failures: ignoring market demand, running out of capital, and so on. So it really has taken my instructions and responded accordingly. So by warming up or priming the pump of ChatGPT, you are more likely to get more precise responses for what you need. So what is this telling you? When you go into ChatGPT, don't just go in there and just type anything. Think about what it is that you really want to know. Having also maybe done your own research, maybe you have your own list. I already have my list of why I think businesses fail or startups succeed, etc. And I can actually put my list in there and say, you tell me, what do you think based on the list that I put here? What would you add to this? What would you improve on it? So there's so many things you can do, but this is just one level. And again, I can't cover it all today in a brief video, but it's really to introduce the concept of how to engage. So when you do take the time to be more polite, be more respectful, more specific, and mindful, you're going to get better results. And so here it will say, additionally, I'll cover what you asked, the most egregious reasons. So when it says reasons for small business startup failures, it gives me 5 top reasons, and below it, it gives me some of the detail that I asked for. So instead of just saying lack of market demand, it goes on to say starting a business without validating market demand can lead to creating products or services that nobody wants or needs. Okay, so now I'm starting to get something a little more valuable. Insufficient capital detail. Many businesses fail due to underestimating startup costs or experiencing cash flow problems, especially in the early stages when revenue might be inconsistent. This is really valuable information because you can use these prompts to create blog posts, to do videos. I could do a YouTube video on each of these topics. Hint, idea, thought, maybe. And then strategies to prevent business failures. Conduct thorough research. Let me see here. It says, validate market demand for your product, similar to what I was saying before. Identify your target audience and understand your competition before launching. That was one of the topics we had in our Supercharged Club this week, kind of the importance of really identifying your target audience. And we use ChatGPT to assist us a bit in that process. And then it goes on, it gives more examples and so forth. Then when I talked about most egregious reasons, ignoring market demand, showing is a top one. Failing to validate market demand for your product can lead to investing in resources and offerings that have no market traction. Okay, I have seen that so many times as a consultant, working with startups and small businesses who invest a lot of money in a product that absolutely nobody wants. It sits in your garage or sits wherever, and it sits there because you didn't do the due diligence beforehand. Hence, that's why it's so important to work with a coach, a business coach who has been there, done that, can guide you from making these crazy mistakes. And yes, people, they are crazy mistakes, but guess what? The best of us can make them. I've made stupid, crazy mistakes too, just because you suspend reality and, go off. But that's a topic for another day. The topic for today is how to chat with ChatGPT. And so you can see, you can kind of get all that. And then finally, factors contributing to business success. Having a strong value proposition, offering products or services that solve a genuine problem, fulfill a need, effective leadership and management, adaptability and innovation, customer focus, and so on and so on. And then finally, at the end, it says, by addressing these key factors and implementing strategies to mitigate common risks, small businesses and startups can increase their chances of success and longevity in the marketplace. So when ChatGPT does such an amazing job, I'll say, wow, thanks so much. Thanks so much for these insights. Okay, this is really helpful. And I'm going to take it a step further. I'll take it one more step further. Obviously, you can go on all day, but we don't want to go on all day. This is really helpful. What would you recommend as the top 5 steps a small business owner should take now to, watch me write this word, guarantee, Guarantee, guarantee their success in business? Boom. Hit enter, watch ChatGPT go. It says, certainly, here are the top 5 steps a small business owner should consider taking to increase their chances of success, okay? Define clear goals and objectives, and then it explains, clearly outline what you want to achieve, understand your target market, develop a strong value proposition, create a solid business plan, invest in marketing and customer acquisition, and so on and so on. So it gives you that. So does that mean that that's the end all and be all of what a small business owner should do? No, absolutely not. That's just 5 that it came up with. And I could ask it, could you give me another 5? And I think I'll end with that point. Thank you for this list. Oops. Get back here. Thank you for this list. What would be another 5 suggestions you would recommend? Okay. And I could say for small business owners to do, I'm not going to write it. Let's see what it says. I could have gone on and asked it again, but I'm going to just see what it tells me. Because it remembers what I said, okay? So I don't have to repeat. So certainly here are 5 additional suggestions for small business owners. I didn't write small business owners in that last prompt. I just said another 5 suggestions. But again, it remembers and it's adding to it. So build a strong online presence, prioritize customer service, focus on continuous learning improvement, being relevant best practices, build your strong relationships and networks, monitor and manage finances closely. So all of these things. So this is a great tool for brainstorming. I like to use ChatGPT as a brainstorming tool. It gives me some ideas that I can take and merge with my own ideas or refine ideas that I already have. And there's so many ways you can use this, but the key takeaways are you want to have a plan when you enter this technology so that you can use it to your advantage and get out of it what you're looking for, as opposed to just, kind of letting it dictate to you what it has. So keep those things in mind. Let me know what you think about ChatGPT. Are you using it? Do you find it helpful? Do you find it useful? And let me know what your takeaways are from today's presentation. And I invite you back next week for Momentum Monday as we supercharge into another topic. Stay supercharged.